comes down to Macedo, who's chasing in the points right now behind Dane Kingshot. But there's a few drivers here just wanting to cash in for their first win of Speed Week as well.
The takeaway for me for Cole Macedo was as far back as the media day here in 42-degree temperatures. They went out and turned about 10 or 15 laps that day. He pulled infield and said, let's wipe it down, put it in the trailer, we're good to go. And from that point, there have just been slight changes to this car. Nothing wholesale in these 8 nights. He's really connected with the Highline Motorsports team, headed by Daryl Clayton, Jaden Marlowe, who's been his crew chief for the entire series. They've snuck up on Dane Kingshot here. Remember, Kingshot's also thinking about the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series. It's 13th round of 22, and you'll see that grand final right here on 7 Plus on March 28th this year, the grand final night of the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series. As all the cars are fired, that's good to see. In a few moments' time, we'll get him into the rows of 4 to salute the fans, of which another solid crowd. They've done an amazing job promoting this last couple of weeks, and it doesn't finish here. We'll be back in February for back-to-back weekends with the Barbagallo Mr. Sprint Car Nationals and the Cricky Boys Shootout. You'll catch both Saturday nights of action here on 7 Plus as well. But for some of these teams, they'll pack up and start heading east to tracks like Mildura, Tolma Speedway in Bordertown, Mount Gambier's Borderline Speedway. The Classic is just around the corner. But for now, 30 laps lays between this and deciding a Speed Week champion for this season.
What a cool shot that is, chasing the field, plus the John Day push shoots as well. In towards turn number 1 as we go 4 wide at the Perth Motorplex. What a sight this is. What a huge Speed Week it has been from Boxing Day through to January. And we've got one last final show. 30 laps. Are we going to get the kind of racing that we have seen from Boxing Day the whole way through to the Sprint Car Muster, which has just been frantic at the front of the field? Last night's race again, but that was really between the local boys last night. It was Kingshot who got the nod, but he's a long way back in this field. Brock Zerfoss, haven't seen the best out of Brock yet. He's outside row number 2. Taylor Mlling towards the front of this field as well. And Aaron Reitzel, the only driver in that shot right now to have won a race during this Speed Week. Can he double up from Bunbury through to the Perth Motorplex? A fantastic sight as they roll 2 by 2 towards the final start of the final feature race. USA versus WA, a fantastic tradition of speedway racing here at the Perth Motorplex continues. Oh, we got early trouble in the background, and it was Mlling. He went early, climbed up over Zerfoss and falls back through the pack. Will we stay green with McFadden leading this one? Yellows come on, and please don't tell me that Mlling has hurt that car, because he was finally in for a good spot. It's Harding facing backwards, might have to go to the rear. An early, ugly start, and Mlling gets away with one. He'll take his spot again in row number 3, but that was looking pretty bad for Taylor early then. Let's check this out again. Zerfoss slow to move, and the inside row was awkward as well. It looked like Harding tripped over Madsen.
Looked like everybody was stacking up there, wasn't it? And someone had to ride over a wheel. And let's keep an eye on that Toby Workwear 25 of Taylor Mlling. He's surveying this car. If he hasn't got any damage, I'd be surprised. Harding has been pushed away.
Chatting to Taylor Mlling before this race, he said his biggest struggle is knowing how to give a crew chief feedback, and he's got a great crew chief in Glenn Beaton down there who's done an amazing job with some pretty good drivers like James McFadden through the years. So they've broken down how to give that feedback back, and that was from Carson Macedo's point of view, a nice heads-up piece of driving to avoid the spinning Daniel Harding. So that little change of just being able to give feedback back to his crew chief for Taylor Mlling, instantly netting him a better handling race car, and look where it's starting him tonight. But he was a little bit keen to get that one going. Lucky to get away with that one.
For Harding, that puts him back to the last row. He was scheduled to start from 15th on the grid. So we'll try it again with Macedo on the inside. So McFadden has chosen the outside line on a super wide Perth Motorplex. Callum Williamson, one of 2 in-car cameras. We'll try it again. Grand final time here on 7 Plus as the field charge to 1. Zerfoss on the bottom in the Blue Angels 95 for Sean. Karen goes up to 2nd initially. Down the back straight, Macedo fires back down the inside as your leader is Callum Williamson. Keep an eye on that number 2 car. Remember, it's between the US 40 and car number 2 is Mlling to the inside, moves up, crosses over. Brock Searfoss, he fights back down the back straight in the 95 machine in the battle for 3rd and 4th.
And how's the speed and the intensity here as Mlling gets through on Searfoss. And we've gone yellow. We've got a car slowing on the front straight.
Oh, no.
And is that... It is.
No, it's
not.
not.
Wow, it really looked like Macedo for a second then. You're thinking what I was thinking, weren't you? And it's Aaron Cherkop who's pulled up on the front stretch. Tricky start to tonight's feature race. We got one in the books, just coming on 2 laps when that yellow flag came out. McFadden looking very comfortable from the lead of that one. As you said, Matt went to the outside of row number 1. He said in his interview with Chris Mitchell earlier tonight that he really wants to be starting these races from up top. He looked pretty comfortable then. Where he struggled through Speed Week, in his own words, has been in the traffic. So clear air, he will lead all day. But when they get into the traffic, feels like he hasn't been as decisive as he needs to be. Let's check out some replays from Callum Williamson's point of view. They scratched the bottom of the racetrack before this feature race, and that was a really good view for them.
And nobody wanting to start in that. Wow, Williamson was right up on that curve. The initial start, feeding 900 horsepower, gingerly down the back straight. The moves ahead there from Searfoss and Macedo in the Clayton car. Down into turn 1. These were light shots will carry this during the balance of this race. And ultimately the yellows would come out with just a couple of laps in the books. Exciting innovation here. It just shows you how busy it is behind the wheel of one of these cars with limited vision. You got the vibration of 900 horsepower at the same time between those down tubes. So 45 is in the pits. Give you an update on where Dane Kingshot is in the whole scope. Remember, 4 points only between he and Macedo. He's up to 13th behind Manders and ahead of Kerry Madsen. With Carson Macedo, Tim King, JD Dack, Jason Pride, Ryan Lancaster and Jai McKenzie inside the top 20. And still a long way to play out. Some 29 laps remaining. The grand final of the USA WA Sprint Car Speed Week, the Sling Lift event sponsored by Totally Workwear.
Just watching the drivers choose if they want to start inside or outside on either side of Coney on the front straight. Dane Kingshot decided to go outside and gave up an entire row in doing so. So he could have been where Kerry Madsen's restarting this one. So he's actually gone back a spot there. He can ill afford to lose too many spots tonight. It's very close at the top between himself and Cole Macedo. And Macedo will do his best work when Cole Macedo, that is, he'll do his best work when he gets into the traffic. We've seen just how quick he has been. All the American drivers, as a matter of fact, including his brother, who we're just riding on board with. It's their decision-making when you've got just split second decide. High, low, slide job, back it off, whatever you're doing in the traffic. And that's where these guys have been winning these big races. Hopefully we get a huge, long green flag run to really dive into some traffic. Hey, Jason Kendrick's doing a nice job here, Matt. Inside row number 3 here. Doing nicely on the choose to get himself up a spot there as well. Let's see how we go there. As we get set for our second restart of this one, and they spread out again, top and bottom, back to the green, and McFadden lights it up.
Searfoss on the bottom, Williamson pounces, door shuts on the 3, round the outside is Mlling. He makes up a position, it makes up a lot of speed as he goes up to 3rd now. Williamson drops back into 4th, and here comes the Kalgoorlie car into 3rd position as McFadden leads through from Cole Macedo. They ease away from Mlling. With Williamson tucked in behind, Brock Searfoss runs back in the 5th position ahead of Reitzel, Kendrick and Priolo inside that top 8.
But half the field electing to try and run the bottom through 1 and 2, so working down where they've been scratching that racetrack since the speed car feature a little earlier. What a shot that was from the speed shot, really showing that speed on the way down towards turn 1. Chad Pittard's pulled infield, looks like we're going to stay green. You can just see his car on the solo track right now. Not too far away from the traffic here for James McFadden. How's the laps? 14 flats in a feature race. It's pretty fast out there, despite the fact that it's slick. We've noticed just how fast the racetrack's been, despite staying slick, as he goes around the outside of the injured Cherkop car. Macedo is tracking him. Cole Macedo in touching distance of the leader, who's really starting to find the heavy traffic now coming out of turn 4.
Kingshot, in the meantime, has dropped back to 16th position, and our live scoring would suggest that is now a tie for the Speed Week round.
Maybe not for now because here goes Cole Macedo to the lead, and that could be for the big bucks. Oh, he gets the wall hard with that right rear. A statement of intent from Cole Macedo.
And still managed to hold on to it.
Taylor Mlling is running with these guys. Boys, he found something tonight. He's at the top of the racetrack. You can see him in that totally workwear 25. McFadden to the bottom wants to lead, but watch out for around the outside Mlling, past his old teammate, and maybe past the American. He'll set up the slide job in 3. No, he goes high. Taylor Mlling having a performance to remember right now, and Williamson through as well now. That's the fight for 3rd. Back to the lead, and yes, Mlling gets it done.
With Mackenzie the lap car in between, Macedo hasn't given up. Is this the night for the totally workwear 25? And Callum Williamson is also roaring. He kisses the wall and opens up the door for Brock Searfoss in a 95. They're banging walls. They're banging tyres through the first turns. This is far from done with 20 laps remaining. We have a new leader, and he looks comfortable out there.
This is awesome stuff. McFadden around the outside of Carson Macedo. He'll potentially get second, not quite. Tucks back in behind him. Around the top, Williamson running with these guys. Reitzel and, in the background, made contact also with Jason Kendrick. Madsen's in that fight as well. There is just so much to look at on this racetrack as the fight for the lead is on again. Cole Macedo, McFadden, all chasing Mlling, who is leading this race for now, but is about to lose it to the American here in turn 3.
The margin of the line was 0.09 of a second. And now Mlling just eases away, but there's more traffic. There's at least 5 cars ahead, including Ryan Lancaster. Mlling continues with Macedo, McFadden, about 10 car lengths behind the Aussie champ for Team Brady Racing as they come past the speed shot with 16 laps remaining.
Mlling looks pretty comfortable at the top. That time by Cole Macedo had 1 left front tyre up and over the curb through 1 and 2. He likes to run the top through 3 and 4. Through the traffic goes Mlling, down low, that's a lap car. Finds the space just on Tim King, who is our quick time man tonight. Cole Macedo has to get it done in 3. Last time by he was around the top down that part of the track. He looks pretty comfortable top and bottom. We haven't seen Mlling down low yet. Milling's electing to just keep that thing high, where Macedo looks pretty happy down low.
Lap times are quite good for these conditions here. With an easterly still blowing, we're in the 14-second range as they come up to more lap traffic with Lancaster just ahead. Macedo regroups. Kingshot is now up to 11, so puts himself back in the lead of the series for now.
Yeah, he's hard at work at the moment with Madsen and Kendrick, and also to the inside of Carson Macedo as well. So there's a fair bit going on with Kingshot trying to get himself back into this fight. But how can you take your eyes off the lead of this race with Taylor Mlling, a driver who is yet to win a feature race, beating some of the very best in the world, including Cole Macedo and James McFadden. And we're well past the halfway point in this one, but there's still a lot of running through this traffic to go, and it starts here in turn 3.
Jason Pride on the bottom, Lancaster up high. Now Macedo's got himself in a good position as he now attacks, makes the move on the bottom of the speedway. Mlling holds on, more speed at the top. He's got Lancaster ahead, needs to cover him off. He moves the totally workwear car to the bottom in turn 3, but he's got the teammate Clayton just ahead, and this could work out well for Macedo, who goes to the leader on the outside. He's squeezed in the middle is Mlling.
Oh, that's tight. Mlling has to back out of it. Now there's 2 cars between himself and the leader. It happens in the blink of an eye in this sport. He was there and he had it, but he elected to run the bottom for the first time tonight. And now look at him. He's struggling in the traffic as McFadden comes back into this fight. Macedo with a car in between himself and second and third, and McFadden's back to second. Man, Mlling lost all that momentum, and now he's looking like falling back behind another couple of cars as well. But check out the traffic here. As Macedo splits the Merger Motorsport car and JD Dack, and now he's got a comfortable lead in this race.
And Williamson, boxed in by the traffic as he looked after McFadden. So Macedo leads past the speed shot with 6 remaining. Macedo's clearing. The Intimidator Boats Wormhole Developments car kisses the wall on the exit of Maddington Toyota Turn 2, and some clear air ahead of him.
And Kingshot at the moment is 10th, so that might just be enough, although it's maximum points at the moment for Cole Macedo. 5 to go for your race leader. McFadden second, Mlling still third, although being hounded by Williamson, who's just cut down a left rear tyre. Williamson in turn 2 is pulling infield. Second in the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series is now rolling on the grass in the middle of the ballpark. and he is out. Caution flies. We'll go back with about 5 or 6 to go. And is that a sign of what's to come? Can't see the track taking rubber anywhere or anything to suggest as to why that left rear is cut down.
Not just cut, that is destroyed. There is nothing left.
And we are beyond the point of the race to be able to use the work area. This is a costly, did not finish, and another spot gain for Dane Kingshot in the process. This will promote him to 9th, and likely enough to just hang on to this USA versus WA Speed Week bonus money. And man, that has completely let go.
Is that a flat right rear tyre on the new grid water case and hydraulics car?
So trouble for the heavy hitters in the Maddington Toyota Sprint Car Series as we reset them.
He was 14th at that point as well, and he won't be able to get a start. As in goes the John Day pace ute, and we have 5 laps remaining. Is there another sting in the tail, or Macedo just drive off into the stiff breeze? It is the Perth Motorplex. Reitzel to the inside of Brock Searfoss and puts himself to 4th. The Jonestown Jet says, no, I'll go back to 4th with that move. They stack up behind. Macedo past us with McFadden in tow, and Taylor Mlling still runs in 3rd.
There won't be enough time in this one, you'd think, to get back to the traffic. There's plenty of action further back in the pack. Oh, we've got trouble on the backstretch. A couple cars around and in the fence, and just they get missed. So we'll pick that up in a second for you. Just caught that one at the top. It's Carson Macedo, potentially.
It is.
Yep.
And Brad Maiolo. And the way we saw it out the window, they were dragging each other backwards down.
Yeah, I was waiting for more to get involved.
So there is a J&S drilling car at the bottom, the second car, the first car on the bottom of the shot. Moved up, they tangled, yes.
Wow.
And watch the way they just dragged each other down the track. Synchronized spinning up towards the wall.
Should be an interesting in-car on that one as well from Carson Macedo, but I wonder if these two will be able to continue on with that level of contact. Certainly the front wing has broken off its stands for Brad Maiolo. And again, another top 5 driver in the points, finding dramas.
And now 4 laps remaining in the A with Williamson, Chad Pittard on the infield, along with Aaron Chirkop. The DNFs in tonight's race. Macedo just got away again to 6/10, so Maiolo drops out of 6th. Carson Macedo was running 8th. Here's the in-car replay for the J&S drilling machine. So through 2, what's the contact? They connect, and he spins down the back straight. You'll see the 77 to the right-hand side. If you can just see through the vision and the field, and nowhere to go but make evasive action to the left-hand side. Emery, we're looking at the front of the...
Yeah, I thought I could see some sparks coming from the left front. There we go. Yep. Brakes are pretty hot on this car. Oh, wow, that's sparking up pretty bad. So we get back for green flag running. That was quick. Back to the green. Is there an opportunity here for McFadden? They gap Mlling. Searfoss running with him. Not long left in this one. Half the field go low. McFadden's in touching distance here. Hasn't won a race all through Speed Week. And how about Cole Macedo? He's been on the podium here, but he's been desperate to break through for that first victory. 3 to go.
And Kingshot is up to 7th position now. As far back as 16th, has got himself well inside that top 10 with just 2 laps remaining for the Californian.
Searfoss is slowing on the back straight. We might get another caution if he can't find the infield.
He's cruising to the infield here. Should be good. We stay green. Going to be 1 to go next time by. So the Jonestown Jet parks it in the hangar on the infield tonight. 1 lap remaining for Cole Macedo. He's tried desperately to put that gap between himself and Kingshot to win the series, but he's going to win the final race of USA WA Sprint Car Speed Week, and the Highline Motorsports team does it here in Perth tonight, ahead of the Aussie champ who finishes 2nd, Taylor Mlling 3rd after leading at the end of the race. Did Madsen get Kingshot? No, he missed him by 7/100ths of a second. But a valiant drive from a defending champion who gets himself back inside that top 10 to cement victory in the USA WA Sprint Car Speed Week. Macedo wins the battle, but Kingshot wins the war. Over 8 rounds that have been contested here at the Perth Motorplex. But what a star performer Cole Macedo has been for the Highline Motorsport outfit since Boxing Night. Kingshot got himself to 6th in the end and will win the Speed Week crown. Madsen home for 7th, Kendrick 8th, Coyle 9th. What a drive from him in the 79 machine. Remember, he started 22nd on the grid. We told you can pass cars. He did it again. It should be the King Chrome hard charger. But this guy heading towards the scales. And this has a bit of a traffic jam here between he and Aaron Reitzel on who wants to get the scales first. You got to feel for the 25. That car looked really good in the early stages, but he'll still go home with a podium. That elusive first victory will have to wait for another night.
All through high limit he was there, and now finally he said he does not want to leave Western Australia without this win. And yes, that is the face of a very, very happy American.
10 large in their way for funky Cole Macedo. He makes his way into victory lane.
It was nearly 20 large, but Dane Kingshot just did enough to save the day from 16th to 10th. Helped that a few drivers fell off the racetrack late in that one, but he was there, wasn't he? He got the job done.
And he parks it in victory lane. He's done this before as he climbs out of car number 40. This team headed by Daryl Clayton, a racer in his own right. There is the D-Train coming in to give the Californian a hug. His young son Cody is also amongst the stars tonight, but it's Cole Macedo's night here at the Motorplex.
And now, your winner of the Sling Lift USA vs WA Sprint Car Speed Week finale, powered by Totally Workwear, the Intimidator Boats, Wormhole Developments, West Coast Rewind, USA 40 from Lemoore, California. How about it for Cole Macedo? You could just hear it in your voice when we spoke earlier tonight, how badly you really wanted to get that win. There it is, mate.
Yeah, I did. Man, I feel like our race car's been super good, and I've been doing a bad job of taking it out of the lead. So, yeah, I really wanted this tonight. You know, being our last night here in WA, I love this facility. I love everybody here. All the fans are amazing. Gavin, Toyota, everybody that helps out. Yeah, I just wanted to win in front of you fans and do it for this team, man. Like, it was a short notice that I got into this deal. The other ride fell apart, and luckily I landed in a really good spot, and I got a really fast hot rod, and just everybody that helps out, Wormhole Developments, Intimidator Boats, West Coast Rewind, everybody that helps out on this thing. We got a massive crew. The Harrison crew also has been helping us at the shop and whatnot, and it's been amazing. Craig Wormhole, everybody that helps us out. It's a dream come true. Landing in a spot that I didn't really know I was going to land when my other ride fell apart, and so the fact that all the puzzle pieces put it in the right spot, it's a dream come true, like I said.
It absolutely is, mate, and you're peaking at the right time. You guys will now head to the East Coast and challenge some races over there, but you are always welcome back to Perth. You have been a treat to have here, mate. Yeah, I love being here. I'll definitely be here next year no matter what. So, yeah, I appreciate all you fans for coming and buying merchandise and whatnot, and yeah, hopefully we have a good trip over East. It's good momentum going over there. Jump up on the top step, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Your winner in the Speed Week finale. How about it for Cole Macedo?